Media Day here at the Miami Beach edition. My name is Matt Nordby with the NASCAR Communications team. We will resume availability with the NASCAR Xfinity Series and NASCAR Gander Outdoor Truck Series Champion 4 shortly, but before we do, we just want to take a brief pause for a special announcement from NBC Sports and NASCAR.
Looking to stake their claim in the tour.
Let's get ready for our main event in American Flat Track.
Track position, very important on any circuit.
It's going to be a one-on-one duel for the win down to the last lap.
That was an incredibly dominant run.
Can I tell you what, Dave, that car is hooked up. You can see it turn the center.
And to victory lane. This is what I grew up watching. Riders talk, over 130 mile per hour, mile racetrack, hands off the handlebars. I love it. Riders talk, over 130 mile per hour, mile racetrack, hands off the handlebars. I love it.
Very cool. Track pass on NBC Sports Gold. So Sam, from the video, obviously you can tell that this is going to be a very fantastic platform. What is the significance of it from an NBC Sports perspective?
First of all, great view of the track pass video from right here. Really enjoyed every frame of it.
We didn't get to see it.
Awesome
but I hope
stuff.
you guys enjoyed it.
What we love is the deeper engagement with the fans, giving them an opportunity to see more events, more drama, more action. We consider NBC Sports the home of motorsports. We've gone deeply into this space across a number of platforms, and this is just the natural next extension. And most importantly, it's a partnership with NASCAR, that we're going to work together to make this bigger and better and make more people aware of it. So we're going to get more people and more eyeballs consuming the sport, growing the sport. And it starts with grassroots racing and the opportunity to be down in the smaller series, growing up to the point where we're racing for a Cup championship like we are this Sunday. To get people hooked in this sport early and to get them that local access and the passion at the roots of this sport is so critical. And to be partnered with Steve and the NASCAR team is so important to us, because they have been a great partner as we build the sport and continue to work as one to make it bigger and better.
And Steve, Sam mentioned growth. So from a NASCAR perspective, how important is this to continue to grow the sport?
You know, Matt, thank you. First and foremost, before I answer your question, I just want a quick shout out to NBC. They are a phenomenal partner. What they do from a production side, Sam and his team, the talent, it really is second to none. So thrilled to have NBC as partners with us, not just on this, but just overall. The things that they've done from a grassroots standpoint is just phenomenal. They care about racing, they care about motorsports, they've made a significant investment in it, and we're thrilled. So this is an evolution of fanschoice.tv. This is an opportunity for us to take all the good things that have happened there and then, frankly, higher production value across all devices. Additional content that will go on there, just a tremendous partnership. So we're thrilled to be announcing this today. It's been a long time coming. Our folks have worked really hard with the NBC folks to really craft something that works. ARCA Menards, IMSA, American Flat Track, grassroots racing, all the other opportunities for us from a library standpoint, and documentaries and some P&Qs. So just a really cool opportunity for our fan base.
And Jeff, in addition to being a great race car driver, you're also a huge fan of racing in general. So, you know, at NBC, your role takes you on the road quite often. You're away many weeks out of the year. So can you talk about this from a fan perspective?
Yes, listen, I think this is great for the fans. I think all you know, unfortunately, some of you are old enough to have covered me when I was racing late models, Mr. Garrow. And so, you know, that to me, you know, that short track racing, ARCA racing, IMSA racing, all that stuff is a treasure to our sport. And it is truly where our fan base begins. And if we don't have that excited fan base at that level, I think it's hard to have this weekend mean as much as it can. And I have to admit that I kind of took some of that for granted until my son started racing. When my son started racing and I started traveling around the country and going to short tracks, it rejuvenated me in regard to how important short track racing is to the health of the sport. And we all know we can't be there every week. We can't go to short tracks every week. And being able to just pull your phone out and watch the race, and I mean a short track race, a modified race, all this, just amazing how many different types of racing. It's not all just NASCAR, it's racing in general. And I think that's huge. Because racing's awesome, and it's a lot of different ways to do it, and now a better way to consume it. And to me, that's how you get race fans. You have to be able to be at dinner and watch a race. And I'll tell you that that's what my wife and I do. Like, we will watch a race at home on a computer, and being able to take it on our phone, it's just, I think it's going to be great. It's what our sport needs. And you know, I'm proud of what NASCAR and NBC have done with the My Track, My Roots program. This year, that was incredible, the amount of enthusiasm that brought, the number of comments we got on our NASCAR America show from it. There's a passion for short track racing. There's no question about it. And this is just another way to do it, and it's a much better way to do it.
And the great thing about NBC Sports Gold, the platform that this is on, is you can watch it on any device. You can watch it on your phone, you watch it on your tablet, you watch it on your computer. You can take your phone and push that image up on your television. All those opportunities change the way you consume it and allow it to be portable, allow you to engage in the sport at a different level. We've seen it with the other sports that are involved in NBC Sports Gold, from our cycling to the Premier League. The numbers and the consumption is through the roof because people want to consume at a high level, and we think this will be one of the great offerings we've ever put out.
It's awesome. Thank you, gentlemen. With that, we're going to open the floor to questions. If you do have a question, raise your hand. We'll bring you a wireless mic. Please state your name and affiliation before asking the question. And if you could, please keep questions specific to today's announcement. If you do have something for Steve Phelps that's further, please save that for the State of the Sport on Sunday at 11:30. We'll do that at the Homestead Miami Speedway Media Center at that time. So with that, let's start with Jordan.
Jordan Bianchi, The Athletic. This question is for Steve. A group of your rival owners, or group of owners, the RTA, recently purchased Speed 51. What do you feel about that, and do you feel like that's a bit of a rivalry with your package you're announcing today?
Absolutely not, Jordan. I think it's, any opportunity to service the fans is what we want to do. So whether it's Speed 51 and Bob Dillner and the group have done a really nice job, that will serve that particular audience with those particular races. And we have our own races, our own type of production, our own type of, how it's going to come across your device. I think they're complementary, frankly. And do I think there'll be folks that will do both Speed 51 and Track Pass? I do. But we're really excited about what it means for our sport and the different motorsports that we're representing. I think it's going to be a huge win for the fans.
Hi, I'm Phil Alloway in Front Stretch. I just have to ask, since IMSA is apparently going to be involved in this Track Pass thing, they stream their qualifying sessions for WeatherTech and a lot of their support races on their website via IMSA TV, and they advertise it with no blocks and all this other stuff. Will that be effective for American viewers next season?
It will not.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. So you'll still have multiple places to see IMSA coverage.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of, so like practice and qualifying on the NASCAR side, yeah. It will be available in multiple opportunities in multiple places. And so, which is what we want. So if someone wants to watch on Track Pass, they can. If they want to watch on NBC Sports Network, they can. If they want to watch on the NBC Sports Gold app, they can. And we'll have opportunities across the various sports to do that as well.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go to Jerry.
Jerry Jordan, kickingthetires.net. With the TV contract coming up for renewal in a few years, does this open up some new areas for NASCAR Cup, Xfinity, and trucks to do more with NBC and not have a split partnership with Fox? Or is that something that, and to go to more streaming of races itself?
Is this a question for Sam or for me? I'm just kidding. I'll take it. I think, we are, right now we're here obviously talking about what Track Pass is, and we're thrilled to be able to have the partnership with NBC that we have. They've been a phenomenal partner. Listen, Fox is a great partner of ours in the first half of the season. So Fox doesn't have a competitive product to this. NBC was the logical partner for us to come to. They're a leader in the space. We're thrilled to be able to have a partner like NBC. Do I think this creates a deeper connection between our two organizations? I do. What happens down the line, we'll figure out that when it comes. We have a number of years to partner with Fox and with NBC, and we're lucky to have two world-class media partners.
And I'd say our relationship with Fox is really unique in this sport. We both want success. We want them to have the highest rated Daytona 500 to start the season. We want success on their side. They want success on our side as we grow the sport. And they see this Track Pass. We all see this Track Pass as an opportunity to grow, dig deeper in the sport, reach out, more tentacles, touching more people. That's the strategy. It's not us against them, it's us. We're all together wanting to grow this sport, grow NASCAR, and grow the opportunity for the fans to watch racing.
Yeah, we had a discussion with Fox about this in advance, and they were thrilled. They certainly understand it. I think if they had a competitive product, they may think differently, but they don't. And to Sam's point, these are two halves, and when you look at the success that NBC had in the first half, Fox had in the first half, they were +3, and NBC has done a little bit better than that. So we're going to finish the season up from a ratings perspective. That's good for everybody.
Greg Engel, Auto Weeks. Just to be clear, this new Track Pass, this is not taking away from anything that we can see now. So fans will still be able to watch practice on NBC Sports. You're not taking away anything now, you're just adding to. I just want to make that clear. I've got a quick follow-up.
Yes.
That's easy. I just wanted to make that clear. Sam, you've had good numbers. Ratings are up. We haven't been able to celebrate that in a while. How do you keep that momentum up? Have you talked to Fox and found out the good and the bad? And how do we keep that momentum up going into next year?
We're always talking. We're always looking for ways to engage the audience. I think what we did this year with reaching down to the grassroots racing, that approach to touch the core fan and remind them that racing on Friday and Saturday builds to the Sundays. We're all in on that. Fox continues to innovate in the production side, and we work together with ideas of how we can make things better as they're looking at the 2021 Supra, the 2021 Mustang, and the 2021 Camaro. We're looking at ways to put cool camera angles and how we can make the visuals coming out of those cars even better. So we're constantly looking at ways to innovate and using the best brains at Fox and at NBC to figure out the best ways to make that happen in 2021.
Let's go to Dave right here.
Davey Siegel, front stretch of NASCAR home tracks. Congratulations on the announcement, guys. So in prior years, the K&N Pro Series, now known as ARCA, and the NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour had been primarily tape delayed. Are you guys aware of if moving forward those races are going to be live or tape delayed?
Yeah, I'll do my best to answer this question correctly. The answer is for the ARCA East and West Series moving forward, they will not be tape delayed. For 12 of the ARCA series, the main series, 12 will be not tape delayed, 8 will be tape delayed. And the mods will all be live.
Let's go to Zach back here. Oh, go ahead.
Brian Mapes with Xfinity Racing. 2 questions for Sam. First, will this be available to watch on TV with Xfinity X1 and Xfinity Flex? Second question, other passes on NBC Sports Gold like figure skating, rugby are available on an international level. Will this be available to international fans, mostly Canada?
On the Canada question, I know they're looking into it and looking at that opportunity. In terms of the X1, I believe the system is in place, and the answer is yes, that'll all work perfectly. And as you know, Xfinity and the X1 platform is the best in all of television.
Yeah, I think just to domestically, initially just be domestic, but we are, as Sam said, we are looking currently at trying to light up Canada as well. When that will happen, we will let you know.
Zach?
Zach Albert, NASCAR.com for Steve. What were some of the key learnings that you guys had from Fans' Choice, and what are the sorts of things that you guys picked up on that went into formulating this package?
Yeah, I think, Zach, for us, fanschoice.tv is something that has evolved. I think we had a lot of learnings from this year about, obviously we're tracking who is on there, what they like, their consumption habits, what things they are interested in watching. Some of the things we saw is some were specific to, American flat track. Some were specific to, hey, I just want to watch Bowman Gray or things on the short track side. And there were some that cut across all of them. So as we're looking at pricing and different things that we're doing as part of this, there are options in there for folks. So if you just want to do something with American flat track, or you just want to do something with IMSA, there's separate pricing. And I think that overall the pricing in the entire piece at $44.95 for the entire season is a fair thing in terms of the amount of content that you're going to be receiving, or our fans will receive. Or they can do a single entity piece, right? So if they want IMSA, they can have IMSA for a full year at $19.95. So, and same with AFT. So a lot of that had to go in the learning of what we were doing this year, and I think we'll continue to learn. We'll continue to make additional content available as additional content comes available, because we want to try to service all these motorsports fans in a unique way.
Let's go to Matt right here.
Matt Weaver, Auto Weekend, short track scene. A question for Sam and Steve first. Speaking of international, the NASCAR Pinty Series, Mexico, Euro, that was not involved in the video or the press release, will that be involved too?
Initially, no. And I think that, for us, Matt, we're looking at lighting up where we can from a Canada standpoint. We'll have to look at, there's some rights issues elsewhere that we have to work through, including what happens on the Pinty Series. But again, right now it kind of looks the way it looks as we have talked about it. Opportunities for us to change this moving forward as rights become available are something we'll look at.
And lastly, for all three of you guys, the My Track, My Roots campaign that you guys pushed really heavily, really well this year, what did you guys learn through that? What did you learn that you might have not expected to? And do you feel like you guys bridged the gap? Because you had said, Steve, about a year ago that you felt like the bridge was cut off between the grassroots community and NASCAR. Did you guys successfully bring the two closer together?
Let's start with Mr. Burton. He's been quiet for a while, and I want to get him warmed up for Sunday.
Hope I need to save my voice for what we're going to see Saturday and Sunday. I think the misconceptions that short track racing was in major trouble, with the enthusiasm we saw from the fans at each individual racetrack and how proud they were, that I don't want to say was surprising, but it was fun to see that, somebody would send in a picture about the race that happened. In addition to that, something cool about the racetrack, just the enthusiasm about short track racing. Unfortunately, we hear about the things that aren't going great, but they're never as bad as they're portrayed. And this gave me a tremendous amount of hope about the faith and the real belief in short track racing. It's from the fans and the competitors. I mean, short track racing is as much about the competitors as the fans, in all honesty. And that excitement about them sending the pictures in of their victory lane and telling the stories, that was fun. And it seemed like they were energized by doing it.
And the pride of hitting every state, I think that was a big deal, particularly for Jeff Benke, who was a big leader in our shop on this. And he was so proud as each state got lit up, and the final one did. He was doing a victory dance, which was not attractive, but at least he did a victory dance.
Matt, just from the NASCAR perspective, because I remember when you asked that question when we were in Charlotte in our office there 18 months ago, whenever it was, I do think we lost our way a little bit. I really do. And I think that, working with these guys, it was something that we committed to as NASCAR. Partnering with these guys for this endeavor, I think, has been really helpful. And I think what it has shown is that, yes, we still have grassroots racing that's alive and well, and that there is a connection between grassroots racing and the top level to grassroots racing, and that's going to continue for a long time.
Let's take one more with Mark here.
Mark Carroll, PRN. This is for Jeff. You again have seen it as a competitor, now as a broadcaster, as a way to grow short tracks and eventually start to grow our attendance and our TV numbers. Talk about the connection. If you get more fans to the short tracks, you know, the fans at a single A baseball game are your best bet to buy a ticket to go watch the Atlanta Braves or the team closest to them. Can you talk about that connection and how important it is for both in the growth process?
Yeah, listen, it's huge. And the thing is that enthusiasm about racing, it doesn't, you know, if people are enthusiastic about racing, it doesn't matter if it's a 3/8 mile racetrack or a 2.5 mile at Daytona. It's just that racing is a fun sport. It's full of drama. It's full of competitiveness. All the things we like about sports. Is getting people back to that short track to experience it. And once you go, I mean, it's there. You don't have to make it up. You can smell it. You can see it. You can feel it. And it's hard to get that anywhere else. And one of the things we have to continue to work on is finding a way to connect the superstars of the sport today to their home tracks. Connect the superstars of the sport today to tracks in the area. All of those things are huge. And by the way, they've all been great. Like the drivers have been really, really good about wanting to make short track racing better. And they deserve a tremendous amount of credit for wanting and for doing, because that's who we all know, right? That's who we all know. But at one point, they weren't who they are today. You know, they were a guy in a street stock car, you know, didn't have enough money to put tires on the car. That's where they all started. And keeping that connection is, I think, is vital to moving it forward.
It's perfect. Sam, Steve, Jeff, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate everybody for attending today. If you do have follow-up questions or would like any more detail on the platform, we have some folks here who helped develop the platform, led the development. Brian Herbst, our Senior Vice President of Broadcast and Innovation, is here from NASCAR, as well as Dan Barker, our Senior Director of Media Strategy. And we also have some folks representing some of the series that'll be featured on the platform. We've got IMSA President John Doonan and CEO Ed Bennett here, AFT CEO Michael Locke, and then also Brandon Thompson, NASCAR Touring Series Managing Director. They'll all be up here by the stage. If you want follow-up questions, they'll all be available for you to talk to. Lastly, on the way out, make sure you grab a launch box. We have some gift boxes for everybody. Be sure you get those on the way out. And then we'll continue with Championship 4 media rotations here shortly. Thanks very much, everybody.